Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time to craft our stashes. This is a challenge hosted by Tasha at Sunflower Tasha DIY and Amy at Bella's Bargains. And I am going to feature a collection I haven't used in quite a while, our birthday bonanza collection. I thought it might be fun to put together a couple of really simple birthday pages, as well as a little bit of a fancier card, maybe. So let's get to it. For my page this time, I'm going to be doing a double page layout, and this is one of my own designs with a little bit of help from my friend Debbie Martin, who's another Creative Memories advisor like I am. And if you don't already have an advisor, I would love to be that person. All of the links to the playlist, to Amy and Tasha's channels, and a whole lot more can be found in the description box below this video. I am starting with a couple of our Fast to Fab inspired pages. This is with the Birthday Bonanza collection. I'm using the ones that have the fans on them, and I'm placing the fans at the bottom of the page. I just wanted to show how quickly and how approachable it can be to put together a scrapbook page. We're going to be using some mats from our mat pack for this collection, and the borders I put together in a class I took with Debbie back in September of 2023, and I just thought, you know what, now is the great time to pull them out and to use them on these Fast to Fab pages to show how easy they can be used. We used a 3-inch piece of paper as our base, a 2-inch layering paper, the Rick Rack punch, a few stickers, and embellishments are what this happy birthday came from, our embellishment pack. And so this is going to go right along the top of our page. Oops. And then I'll show you which mats I pulled out from our mat pack. Okay, let me bring this a little bit closer so I can make sure I am at this top edge. There we go. There's our happy. And here comes in our birthday. So you can see you can pre-make your borders and just pop them onto a page. It doesn't even have to be the Fast to Fab pages. You can use these on our regular pages as well. The mats for the left side of the page, this is one of our 4.5 by 6.5 mats with the balloons. It has the pink stripes on the back. I also pulled a fan because that clearly goes with our Fast to Fab, as well as some more balloons with polka dots on them to use as mats for our photos on our pages. And these are going to get placed right along the side here with our fans. Our balloons are going to go at the top here, resting up against our border. And then our balloons are going to go right under our other balloons here. So you do cover up maybe a couple of our fans, maybe not. Let me actually put this at the bottom. Hang on, we're going to cover up the fans of this corner. You are going to have a little bit of white space. And you all know what I usually say you can do with that white space. You can journal in it. So you can place 3 photos here. You probably will trim down your photos a little bit. I would rest my photo on this right edge of my mat because we do have some lines on there. Let me get my light blocker so that way you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. And if you just grab your ruler, you can measure where the lines are so you'll know where to trim your photo to if you decide to shorten your photo. Otherwise, just go ahead and frame it out with the white and the fans on this left side. If you're a little confused about what I'm explaining here, my video for how I scrapbook actually came out earlier this week. So take a look at it and you'll understand better what I'm talking about, just covering the lines, but leaving some of the fans. This one you can also frame your picture with your balloons, and this one you can just pop a 4x6 photo on. Match for the right side of my page, I have the same print of balloon. Our designers are very thoughtful that way. A lot of times we do have more than one with the same pattern. This one has the lavender stripes on the back. And then I have the other two fans that are running horizontally. I don't know why the vertical and horizontal trips me up from time to time. And I will mention I did have 2 matte packs for this collection. So I'm wondering if I actually pulled the same mat twice. And you can always use a piece of cardstock if you want to recreate what I am doing here. I'm going to pull out my 0 centering ruler because I want to center my larger mat, my 6.5 inch wide mat, at 3 1/4 on my 0 centering ruler, because that is going to make it dead center on my page. It's a 12-inch ruler. The 0 is at the 6. So I know if I go to 3 1/4, that's half of 6.5, and it will help center my mat easily on my page. And then I want my fans along the outside at the top here. So those I'm going to run right along the edge of my paper, because these are 4x6 mats, and of course we have a 12-inch paper. So we want these right up against the edge, because it's going to run, they're going to touch in the center and connect. So there you have it. We have a really cute birthday layout. Put photos of anybody's birthday party on, boy or girl, man or woman. You know, it could even be one of those 0 birthdays if you want. Journal in the white space here, and you can fit 6 photos across both pages. Here is the left side of my page, and here's the right side of my page. And that just came together really quickly and easily, and super cute pages for any birthday party. For my card, I am pulling out my 12-inch decorative trimmer, and we're going to be using the wavier edge here at the bottom. In fact, you can see I put a Post-it note, so that way I would remind myself to line up at the bottom along the 3-inch mark and to load my paper from this right end of my trimmer. So we do have a pull out that's on this left side, and there are markings. It's just a little bit more faint to read. So sometimes we put our trimmer up this way and sometimes we put it this way. And so this time, that's why I wanted to let you know where my pull out was on my trimmer, so you would know which direction I am using the decorative trimmer. I also have cut a piece of cardstock, and I've also grabbed one of our mats as well, just to help move things along here a little bit. So this piece is 12 inches. Needed to adjust my angle, my camera angle there a little bit, because this card is a little bit more than our regular blank cards from our card kit. However, just so you know, when this card is done, it is going to fit into a standard A2 sized card envelope. We are within the 4 1/4 by 5.5 parameter, and you can see I am definitely always mindful of my one pet peeve of people who design cards that don't fit in an envelope. So standard postage should apply. It just has a different fold to it. 4 1/4 by 12 inches is what I've cut our dark sea green cardstock. I then went ahead and turned it sideways into my trimmer. I used my scoring blade and I scored it 4 3/4, and then I scooted it over. I put my score line at 4.5, so I could score again up here. And then when I went to fold it, I folded this one direction and this the other because I wanted my front of my card to be kind of folded up. Like I said, it's definitely going to be a little bit of a different card here. I also did pull my Blow Out the Candles mat from our mat pack, and this is one of our 4x6 mats. So 4 inches is going to be fine within our 4.25 parameters. And then I did cut it at 4.25 as well. I'm going to go ahead and place this down on the upper inside of my card. And this is going to get centered and framed out with our cardstock here. To fall within the fold. Nope, I put it down too far. What did I do here? Okay, oops. Maybe I didn't do it at 4.25. This is actually going to run the entire space. Okay. Well, we're going to frame out the sides a little bit here. So that way our fold, maybe I just need to use gravity like I usually do to get this straight in here. And sometimes you just kind of have to work with it a little bit, or I need it to work with me maybe. There we go. Okay, so now that's within our interior. And then I wanted to put the front part of our candles on the front of our card here. Let me grab out my mat so I can reinforce the edges, since this is going to be the front of the card. You know, I don't like to have flappy things that come off of our cards when people go to open them. So just using a little bit of repositionable tape along the edges here. And now I'm going to center this just right on the front of our card here. And inside now, we're going to fold this piece down, and we're going to get to this. Just hang on one more moment here. Now I have a piece, and this actually was a scrap I found in my stash. I don't have a lot of this collection left, ironically. It's interesting. So I found this piece, and it is 3 inches by 7.25 inches. And this is going to run the length of our interior flap here. So you can see it's going to fold with our fold. It would probably benefit from a score line, but I'm just going to go for it. And we'll see how this works out for me. You can learn from my mistake if this winds up being a mistake. Let's reinforce this one as well. All right. Because we're going to be cutting through it. So we want to center this. Let me grab out my zero centering ruler again. And my card front is 4.25, so I need that at 2 1/8. And then for this piece, what did I say? We were at 3 inches, so it needs to be at 1.5 inches. So I do need to scoot it over just a little bit here to make sure I'm centered going up my card. And then I'm going to add a couple of strips with balloons on either side. And our balloon paper is directional, and I only had this one little strip that was 3/4 inch. So I'm going to just go for it and use this 3/4 inch strip. And we're going to see how this works out for me also, because we're going to be cutting, and I think it's going to work out for me. Make sure I get my ends. And But we're going to layer this at the top of the card to frame out our confetti paper. So here's one end. Oops, I get that on a little bit crooked because I can see a little bit of our island waters underneath there next to the confetti. There we go. And then let's get this other end, making sure my balloons are going up and not down. Although I guess that's up to you if you want your balloons to be floating down instead of up, but I thought it would be better to have my balloons floating up my card. And now we're going to go ahead and fold this along the fold. Let's see here. Okay, so it is giving me a little bit of a crinkle in my top part of my paper, but I think that's going to be all right. I should be able to work that out. Let me just release some of the tension here and place this back down. Here we go. Not a problem. That's one of the nice things about the repositionable tape. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this cut so we can decorate our card the rest of the way. I do have several of our stickers from our sticker pack. This is going to go into my trimmer from this right-hand side. I'm going to line it up at my 3, which I did darken a little bit. It's underneath the housing here a little bit. But you can see my line I drew in there. And I am anticipating cutting through both the paper and the card that we've decorated this with. But we'll definitely see a little bit of the island waters as well. So there we go. Okay. So you can see we did cut through part of our card on the front, but you do see a little bit of the green as well, which is okay. And then coming down, we have just a little bit of the island waters there, and that's okay as well. This is scrap, and you can see where we did cut off a little bit of everything there. And now we are going to finish our card. I just thought this was too cute, an opportunity to maybe pop up a couple of, I had these 4 candles from one of our border stickers left as well on my sticker sheet. So I thought we might as well use them on our cake. I'm going to pop them out with a foam square. Just to show not only do we have the sparklers on there, but we're also going to have some extra candles playing around on our cake. And this is going to get centered. And again, I could pull out my ruler again, but I am going to basically just eyeball my way through this one. You can see where I was looking to make sure that my candles wasn't getting hit by the front flap of our card. And I kind of thought this might be a fun, like 0 birthday card, like kind of like an over the hill sort of thing is what I was thinking of with the other, with adding the extra bump to our card. I'm going to put just a little piece of foam tape running along my Aged to Perfection. Again, this could be really in any year, but I kind of figured it was more for probably an adult birthday, but honestly, you can pull it out for anybody. And it could go again for a guy or a gal. And then I have these little, I don't know, it looks like the top of the sparklers, frankly, in different colors. But I just thought it was a cute sticker to highlight the bottom of our card bottom here, which is where we're going to be writing our sentiment anyways. And since I offset the top from the bottom, you can definitely see that there's more to this card than just the front here. So we have our cake coming down. We have our aged to perfection. We have our candles and our blow out the candle sentiment. And then you can write whatever you would like in this part of the card. So here's the inside here. And here is the back side as well. And that's it for today. Thank you so much again to Tasha and Amy for hosting the Crafter Stash Challenge. Don't forget to check out the description box for all of the details on how to find the playlist as well as our host channels. Until next time.